Is that all just New York, or did people come in from around the country?
No, not from around the country, just the tri-state area.
Gotcha. And so why did you do it? Why did you, is Kyrie Irving a member of your organization? Why did you do it?
Kyrie Irving is not a member of our organization at all. I've never met Kyrie. However, when a young black man wants to tweet a movie regarding Hebrews and Negroes, he has the right to do so, at least in my opinion. And the way they ridiculed him and publicly castrated him, it really lit a fire in our spirits. And we said, you know what, this can't go on. This is like modern day lynching of a black man. It has to stop. It has to stop. Oh, and you know what, Jason, a lot of people don't know this. Hey, can we put up on the screen the bus loads that came to the Barclays Center? If we can we put that on the screen, please? Please. I don't know if you can see this, Jason. Can you see it? If we can move that over.
No, I think that's something different. Yeah, no. Go ahead.
Right, I'm gonna speak on this. While we were there, we saw busloads of these so-called rabbis. Their agenda was to surround the Barclays Center. So when they saw us, we saw them, they took off and went to Crown Heights. Their goal, just like when they had those 8 Jewish people with the anti-Semitic shirts, no anti-Semitism, these guys were going to surround the Barclays Center and do a campaign against Kyrie Irving. Nobody knows that, but we know that. But when they saw us, the warriors and the soldiers of God, they took off running and went to Crown Heights. Because we said, what are they doing? They looked at us and then, boom, they was out. A lot of people don't realize what was about to go down.
No. A lot of people don't realize this happened. I was completely unaware. There was a counter protest or there were going to be a group of rabbis to surround the Barclays Center that night?
There was busloads of rabbis, Jewish people that came to the Barclays Center. It was like, I saw at least 10 different buses filled, more than that. And they saw us, they paused, they looked, we looked at them, they looked at us, and then they left. I'm telling you, something was going to go down. Kyrie was not going to have a good day that night.
So tell me, has the media reported that? I've never seen that reported, that they were that there was this other group that was planning, that was there in any capacity. Has that been reported in the media?
Oh, not at all. Remember, you think the media is honest. They said there were 24 Israelites out there, 100. It's fake news all around.
This is something that we say all the time, but this is just really reiterated clearly, that this ideology just breeds this attitude of boastfulness. You know, if we keep on listening to the rest of the interview, you'll clearly see that. But it's just a me-centered religion. And they don't like it. Guess what? It's a religion. It's such a me-centered religion where people, just exalt themselves naturally. And, when you listen to some ex-members, their experiences, they talk about how, as they got deeper involved in the ideology, that they started to, started hating other people or growing contempt for people, right? And so the disposition that we see, clearly it's visible with IUIC, definitely in this interview, but the disposition isn't really to be Christ-like, right? The disposition is to take the place of Christ. And, I'm going to read off some video titles later that will show this, but it's just a theme that I saw throughout the entire interview. Later on, he says that, Christ promised us world domination. I didn't know that. But this need for power and dominance, it just seems to be for the leader of IUIC a natural byproduct of the ideology.
Yeah, let's comment on this claim about the rabbis gonna confront IUIC, but then chickened out or something like this.
So I know things for that.
Yeah, a few things there. It wasn't going to be a good day for Kyrie. When I first heard that in the interview, I was like, "What is he saying? Like they're going to go surround the thing and like cast spells on him or something?" You know what I mean? Like they're going to be out there.
That's what they're inferring. There's going to be some kind of counter protest, right?
And so it sounds like you already have something. So I'll let you say it. But one other thing about it is, the media never said there's only 24 out there. I don't know where he got. Now, the first time IUIC showed up, when this first happened, they did a smaller one, and they may have said 24 then because it was smaller. I don't know if you guys remember the first time they did this, but I never heard the media say anywhere there's only 24 people out there the last time. In fact, Jason even said, they said a couple hundred or so.
The bishop talks about fake news. Well, the bishop definitely owes Mr. Whitlock an apology because he wasn't forthright in what he showed as well. So, of course, let me put this down here. So I've, of course, found the article, and I'm going to put the article itself in the chat. I can't read the whole thing, but thousands of Chabad rabbis convened in New York amid a banner year for their movement. Now, according to the bishop, they were here to surround Barclays and protest Kyrie, right? Well, and he showed this article as proof. Well, if you read the article, it tells you why they were in Brooklyn. And the picture taken early Sunday was the largest yet, as some 6,500 rabbis from all over the world descended on Crown Heights, Brooklyn, for the first full-size conference since 2019. Known within the movement as the Conference of Emissaries, the gathering is a can't-miss event featuring workshops, prayer, socializing, and a gala at which the achievements of the previous year are recounted with great fanfare. This year, those achievements stretch to a long list of Chabad is in the middle of a push to create 1,200 new institutions, synagogues, schools, camps, ritual baths, and more during the year marking the 120th birthday of the movement's last leader, Rabbi Menachem Mendel Schneerson, who died in 1994. So that's what they were there for. They were there for a conference that they couldn't have for the last 2 years because of the pandemic. Had nothing to do with the Barclays.
This is
the same article he shows Mr. Whitlock.
This is something. So I follow other like Jewish social media. So I knew a little bit about this gathering already taking place. And, if you understand this type of Hasidic movement, they're very, for lack of a better word, evangelistic. So, a lot of Hasidic, there's more of a self-segregation, it's like we're over here. But Chabad or Chabad, I always have trouble pronouncing that. They try to share the good news of Judaism. Basically, it's part of what they do. So it's kind of a different type of thing. And I mean, they're all over. They're all over. Like they have these things, these houses. In fact, I was in Tempe, Arizona, on the state campus of Arizona State University just a couple of weeks ago. That's the local house. It's like a student center. These are all over the country. The reason why they have that one there, or the reason why I took a picture of it, is actually it used to be a church I used to do hip hop events at. So that's why I happened to take a picture of that one. But you see on the front the way it's decorated, and that's sort of a center to find out how to kind of integrate Jewish life and also share with people. So these rabbis were already gathered there. They weren't there to be at the Barclays Center. They were there. They give each other awards and stuff like that every year. They come together. They talk about the previous year's achievements. Now, maybe they probably did a lot more this year because they haven't met since pre-pandemic, as noted, but they were not there to stop IUIC or do anything like that. And you can see on Instagram, they have aerial shots of the rabbis together. But my point is Nathaniel willing to just be ignorant like that? Is he just so conspiracy laden he thinks that way? Does he do no research into the background of it? Or is he just like a straight up lie? Like, what is going on? Because he just made a bunch of things that were false with what he said there. It was not false.
And just to give you some actual proof that they had this thing, here's the video.
Already planned, way before Kyrie.
Okay, I'm here.
But his care and concern for his shliach, to call him up and say, you're having hardships.
Thank you, Rabbi Tokarski, for that extremely generous introduction. To quote President Lyndon Johnson, this is a moment that I deeply wish my parents could have lived to share. My father would have enjoyed one.
So, a shliach, and to welcome the Rebbe and feed
So they were going to go right to Barclays, but they saw the mighty men of God and they ran to Crown Heights and somehow was able to piecemeal that amazing conference out of whole cloth.
Once they saw the warriors of Israel.
Right.
I mean, I don't know what he thinks they're going to do. All they did is stand out there and shout. And within IUIC, only a couple guys are allowed to talk. Those were rabbis. All of them would have been allowed to talk. And they would actually have spoke real biblical Hebrew. I mean, if the rabbis wanted to take them on, I think IUIC would have had their hands full.
Pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
So anyone else want to chime in? Yes.
I just think that it's funny how Nate, I'm gonna call him Nate. No offense, Nate 2D2 down there, but I refuse to call him bishop or whatever. If anything, he's an overseer. He has a bunch of slaves. It's just funny how he tries to paint IUIC in a good light, as if they're not taking advantage of the situation. I'm pretty sure Kyrie Irving doesn't even know who IUIC is, let alone them being out there to support specifically him, other than taking advantage of the situation to put to try to put IUIC on the map. And we've seen Nate prideful. We've seen his pride. This dude is like a peacock. Mm-hmm. We've seen him making videos just to show people his numbers. This dude is full of pride. But okay, all right, and he can't stop smiling either.
And BK, what were you saying, member, about the route that they took? Of course.
So if you are going up to Crown Heights, right? Atlantic Avenue in Brooklyn is a two-way street. So if you want to go to Crown Heights, you got to go up Atlantic, and then you get past Prospect Park and you go into Eastern Parkway. So you're going to see a bunch of buses going that direction, and Barclay Center is right there on Atlantic Avenue. It's right alongside it. So you're going to see a bunch of buses go past Barclay Center, and you're going to see the IUIC members if they're there at that time. So I'm sure they did see the buses. The buses wasn't for them. Mm-hmm. They were going to that conference, a huge one, as you saw in the video. Had nothing to do with these guys at all.
Me-centered religion.
And I know the headquarters where they have it in Crown Heights, because I lived in Crown Heights. I used to walk by the HQ every day on my way home. So there was a line about that too. I'm there. I live there. So it's crazy that he just made up this fabric. It's a fabrication. Like, it's not true. Mm-hmm. The article he showed did not back it up, and I guess he was hoping nobody was going to fact check them. Well, surprise. Here we are.
And Jason Whitlock, God bless your soul. Why would he just take it hook, line, and sinker? Well, that's weird. No one reported on that. I mean,
bad journalism, Jason.
He just ate it up. Like, I don't understand that. And Jason, the way he started the interview with the long preface of like, if you're not down with me having Nathaniel on, it's because you're afraid of free speech and aren't a real American. Like, I don't know if anyone else caught that vibe, but I'm like, bro, why? But Nathaniel was not telling the truth in the way he presented that situation at all. And let me tell you something. IUIC records everything. They record everything. They're big brother in purple and gold. If this exact thing, what he said happened, it would have been on camera and IUIC could show it. I bet it's like five guys who are like turning left. They're like, look at this,
Right.
I think of that line from The Temptations when they're having an argument, and Ruffin tells one of the other group members, "Ain't nobody coming to see you, Otis."
that means we gotta
see you, Nate.
We gotta start using that line whenever IUIC does one of those things, where it's like some grand, ain't nobody coming to see you, Otis, every time. It'll be code,
Wow, that is fascinating. That if not for you guys showing up, there would have been a completely different narrative around that night, and things would have turned even worse for Kyrie Irving, I would think, because they look what Kyrie provoked. Why did you know going into that night that other protest was planned, or you just happened to see them?
We just happened to see them. As they pulled up, we were like, what the hell is this? Busloads after busloads. And they paused, they stopped, they looked at us. We then took what they said.
Wow.